Hello everyone, Wesley here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm diving deep into my own street photography philosophy, sharing the key elements I look for when I'm out on the streets, pounding the pavement, taking photos, composing, so on and so forth. It's all about crafting a compelling story, creating images that resonate with emotion, and these four elements, in my opinion, are crucial for a good street photo. Street photography is more than just pointing and shooting. It's about observing, anticipating, capturing the moments that are fleeting that tell a story. And my primary goal is always to create an image that you can feel. And these four elements are what I focus on to achieve that. Let's start with number one, and that is an interesting subject. First and foremost, we have to have a subject in street photography, a human element. Think about it. If your story is boring, what's the point? And an interesting subject and a human element can elevate a good photo to a great photo. It's the anchor of your narrative, the human narrative, the human experience. Let's take this photo, for example. This woman's posture, her expression, the way she's interacting with the storefront, it all creates a sense of intrigue. Like, what's she looking at? What's she thinking? What is she doing? It creates that interest and intrigue that you want to know more about the photo. You're going to look longer. And that makes it interesting. Having an interesting subject is very important. It can carry a photo when other elements aren't perfect, for example. It grabs the viewer's attention and invites them in to explore the story. It's just about finding those unique individuals and those moments that stand out in an everyday scene, and having an interesting subject that leaves some intrigue helps quite a bit. All right, so let's move on to number two. Number two. I want my messed up janky finger. All right, next up, light. When I'm out on the streets, I am always searching for that good light, what I call good light. And light to me is everything in a street photo. The kind of light that sculpts the scene, creates drama, adds depth. My ideal light was one that cuts through a scene, creating a strong contrast and a lot of negative space. I'll show some photos and examples of that. As you can see, the light isolates the subject, almost painting them onto the scene. It creates a natural leading line, drawing the viewer's eye, especially where you want it to go. And it also camouflages less important parts of the scene and minimizes distractions and noise, if you will, not photographic noise, but noise in a composition, and allowing that subject to really shine and really come forward. Backlight, even side light, even the golden hour, which I don't typically shoot, all of that brings its own unique mood and feel to an image. And you need to experiment with different lighting conditions to see how they impact your storytelling. Yesterday, for example, I went out in the afternoon. The light was completely different, and the photos as a result are completely different from the ones I have been getting. So let's go on to my number three, my third element, and that is a minimal scene. Something that I really enjoy doing. This brings, the concept of a minimal scene is basically using negative light to hide some of the distractions. And some photographers actually thrive on chaos and in a city. They find that chaos and disorder and craziness, and they enjoy that. Not me per se. I try every now and then, but I dabble in it every now and then, like this photo in Amalfi and this photo um, in Amsterdam. But the bustling energy of the location really helps me, thrive in that. And in Phoenix, you don't really get that. It's really barren streets. So I gravitate more towards a minimalist photo, an artistic approach, if you will, a clean lines, uncluttered composition, a sense of space that, a lot of other photographers don't frankly use. And this really probably has a lot to do with the scene you're in. Here in Phoenix, where the streets aren't as densely populated, I'm almost forced to embrace minimalism. It's a great exercise to focus on the essential elements of a scene, though. I think if there were more people in the streets here, I would probably try to incorporate more of that chaotic energy into my photos. But I got to work with the environment that I'm in, and that is not the environment that I'm in. So I'm doing what I do. I'm doing what I do. All right, so let's move up to number four, and that's symmetry. And it's not necessarily always perfect symmetry in a scene. It's just I love to look at a scene and there to be some type of geometry or symmetry or you know using reflections, things like that, to make symmetry. I love using symmetry to create a visual balance and another layer of interest in my compositions. Silhouettes, reflections, the interplay of different shapes can all contribute to a sense of symmetry. I'll show some examples of my photos that I've taken with that in mind. Any type of stark contrast, a silhouette that kind of highlights what they're doing but does leave some intrigue. Shapes that are backlit or front lit, creating that symmetry in a street photo, to me, makes a more visually compelling image. Four key elements that I consider when I'm out in the street shooting street photography. Remember, these are just guidelines. The most important thing is to just get out there, develop your own vision, your own style, your own eye, experiment, and just have fun. So, what elements do you look for in street photography? Let me know in the comments below. That's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. This little quickie, kind of quickie. I will talk to you guys in the comments. Have a good one. Peace. All right, I think we're recording. Audio's being recorded. This is recording. All my lights are on. It's been a while since I've done this, guys. It's been a while since I've done this. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't tell if it's got my eye. I don't know. But I got my monitor. I can see myself. It's a new camera. And it looks like I'm overexposed by a little bit. So I'm going to turn my lights down. I don't like no zebras. Overexposed a little bit still. Dang.
New camera, who dis?
Okay, all right. I'm back from Panama, finally in the studio, finally recording. Let's see what happens. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Thanks for joining me. All right. Today we're going to talk about what I look for in a street photo. Let's get it. All right. Let me stop.